Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. How is everyone doing? Yesterday's feminine collective went through a lot. It was intense, an intense portal. Okay, but masculines, let's see where you are. Let's see where you're going. All right, let me just ground for a second. I had some weird sleep, so bear with me today. Okay, Spirit, what do we need to know about the masculine collective? What are they confronting? What are the blocks that are showing up? And what are the solutions to those blocks? Deep, deep breaths, everyone. Rebirth. Boom. Putting it right in the center of our reading. All right, anything else? Synchronicity. We have self-love in the reverse. This is the second time, masculines, you're getting self-love in the reverse. It showed up on the masculine side of the twin flame reading. Okay, domestic harmony in reverse. So more like domestic disharmony. Okay. Wow, the energy is pulling in my head. Crown chakra, third eye. Yeah, masculines, pay attention to your connection to source. We have environment and manifestation. Okay, let's see. Remove everybody down. I could already feel the intensity of this reading, and if I'm being honest with you all, I don't know that I have the energy to hold it, but we'll see. We're gonna play it by ear. It's like the energy is all of a sudden pooling between my temples and pooling at my third eye. So yeah, masculines, masculines might be in temple space right now, learning to access this sort of the sort of self-love that it takes to enable this shift in their life, enable this rebirth to happen. All right, masculines, this is a lot. I don't really have a clear message though. In the unconscious, I laugh right when I said that. In the unconscious position, we have patience, right? So, okay, I get it, Spirit. Thank you for that very direct message. Let's get more. Let's just get more. Let's get more information here. Where do we go? Wow, I haven't used these cards in a while. These are my angel cards. I think they're Doreen Virtue. I'm not really sure. Sorry if that was crazy loud in the microphone. I apologize. Okay, we already have school. We have lessons. We have orange, creativity and change, which was also the unconscious patience position. We have hawthorn, balance, elemental kingdom. Anything else, Spirit? I didn't even ask a question, did I? Spirit, can you make this message a bit clearer? Can you please be clear about this message for the divine masculine side of the street? Anything? Love that when I actually ask a question, nothing comes out. Maybe that's not the right question. Maybe it is. Let's see. Introspection and self-inventory. Yeah, that card makes the most sense in this reading to me. And communication, inner truth. Okay, I'm getting it. And then I'm actually going to put this unconscious position here. I don't know if you could see it. It's the summer card. It says taking action, fruition, intellect. So it's not an accident to me that the taking action card is the thing that's being pushed into the shadows right now. Can I slide this over? Yes, there we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, masculines, this is a time of introspection before this rebirth takes place. What is introspection? It's a time to really look inside self, a time to take an inventory of what's working, what's not working. What are your fears right now? What are your desires? What are the uncommunicated truths that are leaking energy in your soul? Yeah, you're being asked to come into some sort of sobriety, some sort of temperance, some sort of balance to balance this elemental energies in your environment. I'm very drawn to the only two reversals that we have. We have domestic harmony and we have self-love in reverse. Yeah, there's something here about, wow, this is so specific. There's something here, masculines, regarding your family of origin, your root chakra. Your root chakra is your seat of the soul. It is your tether to this world. It is the place where your family installed your family hard drive and all of their beliefs and ideas about love and the world and relationships and success and failure and all of these things that we don't really realize we're absorbing as a child. But there's something here around uprooting some of this programming that you received in childhood about relationships, about, so here's a very specific message for someone. Maybe in your childhood, there was a lot of domestic disharmony, and that was normal. Maybe relationships stayed together no matter what trauma took place. There's something here around dismantling certain, and that's not for everybody. That's for like a lower percentage. They're not giving me a percent. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I'm not seeing that clearly. However, it could be as big as that. It could be anything that is that around relationships, or maybe ideas about marriage. Maybe you grew up in a family where there was arranged marriages and there wasn't, that sort of choice, or there wasn't that sort of, and I'm not knocking any of these. I'm just saying maybe who you are now is in conflict with the beliefs you were raised with. That's the biggest thing. And so you taking inventory in your interior castle around what's showing up and what is like abrasive within you, is going to contribute to how you show up and love yourself, right? So if you grew up in a family where, I'm avoiding saying this one narrative. I don't know why. Let me see. Spirit, say more. Or give me more, please. Basically, if you grew up in a situation that was normal in childhood, that you no longer as an adult is part of your life, and that has brought some sort of chaos to your family of origin, some sort of, maybe it's disappointment, maybe it's, conflict, whatever it is, you're being called to rise above that, to allow this rebirth of a new self, right? Yesterday's reading and the day before, there was a lot of talk of parenting the self. Well, that can be a very difficult thing to do when your actual parents or any family members are in conflict with the way you want to parent your internal self. That could cause a lot of disruption in the family, right? Our root chakra is the biggest thing that we have to overcome. Our family stuff, our childhood trauma, your root chakra is your feelings of stability, your feelings of safety in this world, your feelings around financial issues, the feeling that you can survive, right? This is like tribal chakra, root chakra stuff. So, it makes sense to me that you're not so eager to take action when you're still working this stuff out, masculine. So go easy on yourself. However, hold on, is it here? I swear I saw a card. I think this is a sacred protected space for you, masculines, where you're actually allowing all of these lessons that you've learned over your lifetime to actually integrate and slowly grow enough roots so that you can live this way, so that you can embody all of these lessons. So just take care of your environment right now. Just be mindful of who you let into your energy, especially if you're in a vulnerable state where you are looking into all these things. Now, that's another great point. Thank you, Spirit. When you go inward, when you start peeling back the layers of your psyche, of self, of your family, of, maybe experiences or traumas that you've had, it's a very tender place, right? So it's up to you to parent this moment, to parent yourself, to gift yourself with enough space and safety, and maybe like a safe contact person that you have. Maybe just one person, or maybe a couple people that you ask ahead of time, hey, I'm going to dive into myself, or some version of that. Like, I'm going to start looking at some of this denser stuff. I'm a little nervous to go into it. Would you mind being a resource person if I'm having a hard day one day? Can I call you? Sometimes if it's really cool to be really intentional about your work and actually set yourself up for success. It's the same thing. Like if you're going whitewater rafting, is that what it's called? If you're going like doing something somewhat like out of the norm or even a little dangerous, like you're probably going to tell someone where you are, right? You're probably going to give them your location. Maybe you drop a pin. Maybe you just tell them the name of the place where you're doing it or something. This is the same thing. It's like you're just giving someone a heads up, masculines, as you go into this work. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I might be off the grid for a little bit, but if I need to reach out to someone, are you available? Cool. If not, cool. You could ask someone else. Okay, let me leave that there. I need a sip of tea very badly. Also, happy Pisces season, everyone. Okay, let's see. Spirit, where do we go? Okay. Let me just shuffle. That was a terrible shuffle. Redo. There we go. All right, Spirit, are there any questions? Are there any additional ideas? Where should we go with this reading? What do you need to share with us for the highest and best good of ourselves and the planet? Okay, we have break the chain and reverse ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. I'm going to leave it upright so I could read it. Yeah, so here's the thing. It's going to take all of your focus, attention, resources, and strength, masculines. I almost said feminines right there. That's very interesting. Freudian slip possibly, but let's keep moving. It's going to take all of your strength, masculines, to let go or cut the cords to these ancestral patterns, to these patterns of whatever it is. And I'm not implying, there's nothing in this reading that's implying a negative thing. I mean, oftentimes when we're releasing something or when we're overcoming something, usually it's sort of a, I don't want to say negative thing, but like a thing that no longer serves. It's not as useful as it was, right? Because if it was useful, we wouldn't be doing the work to do something with it. We wouldn't be, leaking energy to it and have to like cut the cord, right? So right now, masculines, remember, it came out in reverse. Right now, you are learning the terrain in which your psyche was created. They're showing me like a little mound of dirt with a little seed in it, and there's just like a little baby sprout. Maybe it's only like a couple weeks into germination, and it's just a tiny little baby sprout. So right now, masculines, you might be getting new awarenesses that are very young still within the psyche or within your consciousness. Maybe you're just getting like a whiff of some ideas, or maybe you're making like you're having some baby mini awakenings that are shining a light on different parts of your childhood, parts of your family, or parts of your patterning where you've picked up these patterns, maybe patterns that told you that you were not worthy, maybe patterns that told you you had to be a success and you had to be like a national, world, or international success to be worthy of love because your family does great things, and if you don't do great things in the world, then you are not worth anything. It's like you're slowly discovering these little nuggets of truth, these little puzzle pieces into your awareness that start to make sense of why you feel the way you do, or why you're confronting certain blocks in the external world around you. Okay, then we have starseed. What lights you up? Yeah, I'm very drawn to the seed. Like it's this kind of, we're orbiting, and I'm very drawn to this hawthorn right now. These like, you're in the like early stages of germination. Maybe the sprout has just broke through the soil and receiving its first little drops of sunlight. There's something here. This message of tenderness is very loud in me. Yeah, so here's the thing too. As we go deeper, I always tell people like our deepest work is going into the shadows, right? The shadow is the thing we're ashamed of. It's the thing we try to hide from the general public, from people knowing. It's the thing we literally like take out of the light and shove it in the dark so we don't have to look at it and no one else gets to look at it. So we have to remember that to do this in a sustainable way, because if you just go into darkness and stay in darkness, it's not really that great for everybody. It doesn't really move the needle forward because we could really get tripped up in that pain and disappointment and trauma and attachment, right? So you have to remember that if you are going to intentionally go into the dark, and the masculines I'm reading here for, it seems like it's very intentional. Yes, I gave you some tips and tricks on how to create a safe, protected space in your schedule, in your physical environment to, to intentionally go into this. However, there are going to be things that you can't plan for, right? And so the things that you can plan for is having an escape hatch when you're in the shadows. So what does that look like for me? Well, basically, when we descend into the womb space, into the void, into the quantum field, into our deep underbelly of the unconscious, we want to bring our own light with us, right? That's the whole point. We want to bring so much light and love and pleasure and play down into the most vulnerable parts of ourselves, so we have an escape hatch. Another version they're showing me is like, when divers, when they jump off the boat and sometimes they have to go really deep, they have weights. They have weights that weigh them down so that they sink faster. And then they have also like one of those pull trigger air balloon things that gets them to the surface faster. That's what this trapdoor is. That's what the light is. It's having that escape hatch that you can, if you're drowning in the darkness, be like, okay, I have this. I can hold on to this one thing. Maybe it's a prayer. Maybe it's a funny clip that no matter where you are and what you're going through, it'll always make you laugh. Maybe it's a beautiful song that ignites tears and you need that because, it's otherwise hard for you to go into that emotional release. But if you have this one clip or one song or something that ignites that emotional release in you, sometimes that is enough to trigger this like bigger release. I can't tell you what your light is, what your trapdoor is. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's you ask your best friend or someone, your consciousness soul sister or brother, to just like hold space for you while you think about stuff. Or maybe it's you talking it out with them. I can't tell you what your trapdoor is going to be. It's going to be different for everybody. I'm trying to think of my own examples. For me, dancing is always a trapdoor. I'm sorry, I'm saying trapdoor. I mean escape hatch. I don't know where I'm annoyed that my psyche did that. I'm wondering if there's a bigger reason for that. Anyway, it's this like life hack to get you out of the darkness. For me, dancing. Even when I'm in the darkest night of the soul, if I put on some music and I have a certain playlist that touches different emotional frequencies in me, if I put on a certain playlist and I start just moving, and it doesn't have to be full-blown dancing, but just sometimes just like listening to music to me is like having another friend in the room. It's having a friend who can override certain frequencies, because music is the best at doing that for most people. And it doesn't require someone else to be there. Not all of us have the ability or circumstances to have someone there with us all the time when we're, diving into the trenches of the soul. So what lights you up? What is the thing? I'm trying to think of other examples to give you. Like I know someone that really loves screaming in nature. Like they go out to the woods and they freaking scream their heads off. And that works really well for their emotional release. That's like the best thing for them. I know someone else that likes, shopping. I don't really recommend that one because it's, it is what it is, whatever. But like when you're in the darkest night of the soul, anything helps. And when I say anything, I mean something that is not harmful to you and something that doesn't set yourself back. Like I would not recommend drinking or doing drugs when you're confronting these dark parts of self. If you have a propensity to reach for some maybe not so healthy things, ask a friend to be there with you. Be like, hey, can you help me as I go into this? And then can we do something else so I'm not alone with my darkness? Maybe it's overeating. Maybe it's like overconsumption of anything. Maybe it's locking yourself away for 2 days and binging Netflix. Like, I get it. We all have those moments, but can you, before you go into it, be so micro present and so micro intentional that you are setting yourself up for success? So what lights you up, Starseed? Anything else? Oh, geez. Okay. We have this no card, wait, postpone, pause, say no. And then we have don't dim to fit in reverse. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Okay, so this is an interesting message. For me, this is about boundaries and consent. Do not shove yourself down a path if your boundaries are not in place. Now, I understand that sometimes the way spirit works is that they'll just plop a synchronicity in our face and all of a sudden it sends us on this whole wild goose chase and the treasure shows up right in front of our face instantly. I understand that for those moments, we can't always plan ahead to be in a safe space. Sometimes we have a little mini awakening and we're like, running into the office or running into work or something, or on the bus or like on the airplane or whatever it is. And we're not always so prepared. So the invitation here for you masculines is set your intention now. Now in this moment, I mean, I don't know if you're in a process or not when you're listening to this, but when you're in this moment, can you set an intention for a future moment? Can you set intentions and self-loving thoughts for the future version of self that wants to go on this quest, that wants to seek deeper meaning, that wants to find more alignment with your soul's deepest truth and soul's deepest alignment and purpose? So that might look like, okay, spirit or God or whoever you pray to, or the universe or the quantum field, whatever that looks like for you. You could say, God, hover over me in times of chaos. Hover over me in times where I cannot see the next step clearly. Hover over me in moments where I am activated and triggered. Hover over me in moments where I'm lashing out at my friends and my family and the people that I love. Hover over me if I start to cross my boundary. Hover over me if I say yes when I want to say no and no when I want to say yes, masculines. Do you see kind of how this works? And then you could say, let grace run through me in those moments. With you, all things are possible. This is a really powerful prayer. It's not mine. I got it from Carolyn Mace, and I've been tweaking it over the years for what it serves. But what does the second line mean? Let grace run through me. Let the power of this love, even when I don't have access to my own self-love, let this grander, infinite oneness, Christ consciousness, universal life force love hover over me and move through me in times when I cannot access it myself. I know this might seem weird to some of you, but honestly, it works. Setting intentions works for everything. That's something, because I do Reiki so much. I'm always doing Reiki. I just got used to setting intentions all the time. So now I'm like, okay, like I got to go to the grocery store. God, allow me to drive to the grocery store in peace. It's my intention to release any sort of dense thoughts as I drive to the grocery store. It's like we don't realize how many moments that we actually have power over. And it's really cool and exciting when you realize you could start dipping into these micro moments, to have micro presence and to literally inject intention in these micro moments. it's all of a sudden like the quality, it's like you might look at your schedule and say, oh, I don't have a lot of time. Well, it doesn't really matter because you are actually in control of the quality of your presence, the quality of your time, the quality of your intention. And anyone and everyone can do that no matter what they're doing. You could do it ahead of time. If you say prayers before bed, or you could start saying intentions before bed for the next day, if you don't have a moment during the day. But I feel like even when we're walking to the bathroom, you could say a little prayer or stick in a little intention. There's all these micro in between moments that we actually have the opportunity to bring even more presence to. Anything? No. I'm not gonna. Let me just look at the unconscious. Yeah, okay. We have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Yeah, it's just a greater call to accountability and responsibility, masculines. This has been your name of the game for a very long time. It's been like a few years for the masculine collective of how can you take deeper accountability for your actions, for your non-actions, and the repercussions of your actions and non-actions. Where are you leaking power? Do you have relationships that are unfinished? Do you have relationships that you ghosted, that you never closed the loop intentionally, properly, and consciously? Do you have jobs where you didn't properly leave? You just stormed out and quit. Like we don't realize, but a lot of these circumstances are like, like holes in our boat that are leaking, and we need to find ways to plug them. And when I say boat, I mean our energetic body, our chakra system, our system of life force and energy. We actually, if you think of yourself like a boat, like we could leak energy. And when you're leaking energy, you're not as well resourced. You're not as grounded. You're not, it's like, it's like operating with not a full gas tank or something. Okay. Where do we want to go, Spirit? Where do we want to go? Oh, interesting. I haven't used these cards in a very long time. Okay, anything else you want to share with us, Spirit? Anything else you want to share? I need a sip of tea. Hold on. Sip of tea. Okay, sorry for the delay. Let's see, Spirit. Where do we have great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. Yeah, I'm going to put this under synchronicity. This feels very important, actually. Okay, I understand where we're going. Thank you, Spirit. Sorry, it's interesting too. My throat, I just got like a lump in my throat and I had to swallow like 3 times to clear it. So something the masculine collective has been working with for a very, very long time is understanding their divinity, and not just understanding it, but accepting it. It's been very easy for the masculine collective to say, oh, all that spiritual crap, that's for the feminines. That's like their thing, right? Wrong. Masculines, you have your own magic. You have your own relationship with the divine. The divine has been trying to speak with you since you incarnated here, since you were given a human body. You are being called to restore this, to come into this different flavor of domestic harmony, by bringing spirit into your heart and into your home. Maybe that's your physical home with your family. Maybe that's just the home in your own heart. You're being called to like really be truthful and authentic about your spiritual experiences, about your relationship with the divine, and no longer push it away or shove it into the shadow, because there's something, I just, as I said, shove it into the shadow, it occurred to me to look at the bottom of the deck. The shadow position, you have High Priestess, harness mystic power. I mean, like, come on. It's like you're being called to harness and harvest your internal feminine's mystical power. You know what I mean? It's like, this is within you. You could push it away all you want, but it's there. So you might as well use it. It's such an asset to you, masculines. Okay, we have something else. We have the Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. Yeah, to me, we also, I don't know if you could see, there's a little grasshopper on this Shaolin master's hand. I think that's how you pronounce that. Okay, I'm getting like so many messages. Hold on. Like, I just want to honor there's a dragon in the background. That's the first thing for someone. Maybe that's to pique your interest so you start paying attention a little bit deeper to this reading. Be graceful in movement, in action. Grace. It's coming back to this intentional love. To be a bit more intentional, masculines, with your own self-love. That's where grace starts to flow freely. It's like the visual I just got was someone turned on the grace tap, and it's like water running, flowing like in a thick, thick stream, just all this beautiful grace to really treat grace like an actual tangible 3D substance, because when it arrives, that's what it feels like. That's the effect. It's like, if someone came over and threw a ball at your face in real life, yeah, you're going to feel that. If someone comes over, if the divine comes over and drops a bucket of grace on you, you're going to feel that. That's how powerful grace is. That's how powerful intention can be. You can ask for help from the divine masculines. You could call upon, where did it go? You can call upon your inner high priestess to help you receive this, to believe the love that you're receiving. I'm getting so many messages off this one card. So the thing about grasshoppers, think about it. They have these powerhouse hind legs, and their hind legs actually make no sense for the rest of their body. They're very light. They don't weigh anything, but they have these massively powerful legs that can help them make leaps and bounds. They are some of the strongest, proportionally, insects, right? They can launch themselves very, very far. And so masculines, when you allow this love to coat your psyche, to coat your insides, to coat, what the visual they're showing me is in your interior castle, meaning your inside, your house. Picture you have a home, and it's where your heart, your psyche, all the internal parts of your soul live. They're showing me someone spray foaming. Have you ever seen spray foam? It's like that thick, and they coat the walls between the studs to cover every little nook and cranny. Imagine spray foaming your interior home, your interior castle with grace. Imagine what that would feel like to be covered in grace all over the walls, all over the ceiling, and to just be surrounded by grace. What a beautiful, beautiful way to wake up and to move through the world. Anything else for masculines? Anything else for masculines? That spray foam image is very funny to me. It's like so specific. Anything else for masculines? Anything else? All right. Okay. I was about to give up and then boom. We have the Shield Maiden in reverse. Make plans and focus. Again, it makes sense to me. Didn't we have... where is it? Didn't we have a non-action card? Oh, taking action. Here it is. Taking action in the shadow position. So it makes sense to me that this isn't a time to make plans and focus and take action, right? You've continued to get versions of this message throughout this reading, masculines. Anytime when when anyone comes back from the hero's journey, they're not coming back, returning to the village to do more work. They're coming to rest. They're coming to create, to be received by the village as a new version of self. The village holds them, shelters them, feeds them, hydrates them, supports them in the manner in which they love this person that returned to the village. Right now, masculines, you're being asked to slow down and integrate what you have so far, not to take more on in your hearts, your minds, your bodies right now. You're being asked to really unplug, and masculines are not masculine energy is not the best at doing this. Masculine energy are doers, they're action takers. They want to penetrate the world with ideas, and they want to build things and build structures and infrastructures, and That's a lot, masculines. That's a lot. And you've been doing it for a very, very long time. Maybe even many, many generations. This might be another part of you breaking this ancestral pattern, right? To really love yourself enough to pause so that you could think about life, so that you could think about yourself, so that you could think about your soul mission and your career. And are you in alignment, or do you go to a job that drains your spirit every single day? How can you, it's finding your ikigai, right? You've seen that image with the concentric circles. Ikigai is the thing that you love to do, that you're good at, that you can get paid for, I think there's another one. And it's like this thing that fits all of these categories. The thing in the center of it is your divine mission and purpose. Beautiful. I laugh. I looked down again in the unconscious position, and we have this druid card, hold the space. Yeah, you're not good at holding your own space, masculines. You're not good at creating space to pause. I'm sorry it came out that way, but it's just true. So how can you get better at creating quiet, unplugged space? Yes, I know we all have responsibilities and duties that we have to tend to, but can you create an hour in your day, or 20 minutes every day, or 20 minutes every other day, just to chill, just to maybe meditate, say a prayer, say an intention, but just to block the world out around you so that you can connect with source, so that you could bring more harmony to your spiritual relationship and honor the synchronicities and language that the divine has been trying to communicate with you. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Yeah, let's just get one of these I'm running out of steam. I feel very drained from this reading. The message for me and you in my own personal 3D exhaustion is, masculines, when you don't pause, it's okay. Let's go back to the boat analogy, or canoe. If you have holes in your canoe and your solution to that is to just paddle harder, not only are you going to be so incredibly exhausted, but you might be swimming in 5 minutes. So it's important that you pause to assess the situation right now, to assess, is this hole or leak sustainable? How far can I get with this leak? Should I pause and try to find something I can fashion to plug the leak? Is there something here that needs to be taken care of? So you're being asked not to just bulldoze through your life, masculines. You're being asked to pause to see if there's a more sustainable way that you can move through this existence. Wow. Okay, hold on. We have Primrose, New Love. I'm going to take these all upright. That's just what I've decided. We have Creativity. We have Devotion, and we have Truth. Yeah, this new love, look where we started. We started with self-love in reverse, and now we have new love. This is not an external love. Let's just get that idea, that fairy tale out of your brain. We're not talking about external love. We're talking about internal self-accountability, self-love relationship. So this new love might be new love of self. It might be a new love rekindled with the divine, right? You're bringing internal harmony to that which was disharmonious prior. Once you anchor this new love, right? New love, that's third and fourth chakra, that's solar plexus and heart chakra, yellow and green. Once you anchor this new love, your intuition is going to flow. When you increase your self-esteem, you increase your intuition. That's a binary. When one increases, the other increases. It's just fact. When you increase your intuition, your discernment becomes impeccable. When you have impeccable discernment, you could actually take action on your ideas, thoughts, the things you want to be devoted to. You could actually take action on your authentic truth and self-expression. When we're insecure, we don't feel confident that we know what our truth is. When we're insecure, we don't feel confident on what to take action on. So this is a really powerful message here. I'm going to end it there, I think. Let's just end on a Buddha card because I love these little... Oh, okay, that was fast. When you wound or grieve another, you have not learned detachment. So, they're showing me that hero's journey again. So going back to that hero's journey, it's like, listen, you had to do what you had to do to survive in the forest or away from the village, whatever that looked like for you. When you harm others or grieve others, you have not learned detachment, meaning you have not been able to access that bird's eye view that says, oh, I had to go through all these different things in order to get to the other side so that I can have the awareness. Not let me stay in the pain or grief because honestly, how is that supporting you? Is staying in the pain or the grief moving the needle forward, or is it keeping you on a hamster wheel? I'm going to say the latter, right? It keeps us attached to something that is not meant for us to attach to. So your practice, your homework, masculines, is detachment. If I had to pick a theme, it would be detachment. Okay, beautiful reading. Thank you for being here, masculines and feminines. Thank you for just being present with me. It feels really good to get back into readings. It's been a while for me, and I realize what a huge part of my heart and my energetic system doing readings are, because it grounds me, especially when I do them in the morning. And I've really missed it. So I really appreciate you being here. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.